I feel like Nanook of the North, all tugged up, fortunately in good outdoor gear. It's 1 degree and we've had a few inches, that's centimetres, of snow this morning, and I have had to change my plans, and now I am on a bit of an adventure. Right now, walking through the cemetery. I have a fatal attraction to cemeteries. I think must be the 3rd or the 4th where you happen to find me when I am recording something. Not that it was unexpected, it's just that here in Britain we like to play sort of cat and mouse with the weather, and this snow was forecast a week ago, and so much so that surprisingly yesterday the schools in Bakewell announced prematurely or preemptively that the schools will be closed this morning, which on the dry steps, well, the unsnowed steps of the church after meditation with John and Neil this morning, seemed like a great lack of faith in English weather, closing the schools. Why? We all sort of shook our heads. Typical. Why? No stamina, no water. But here we are, just a few hours later, and I'm in Chesterfield now, and I'm snowed in. I've had to abandon the car outside the hospital where I've just been for the results of my CT scan, and you'll be pleased, as indeed I am, to know that it's all clear. And quite apart from that, I've had a camera shoved up my nose. I didn't know you could do that. not an iPhone camera, you understand. It's sort of like a stethoscope sized camera. And look, the irrepressible, the daffodil buds are out. He discovered, he says, have you got a broken nose? I said, no, I can't remember. I can't remember being in a fight or I've never played rugby. Anyway, so apparently this is, it's good to find out. You know, it could be worse, literally, because I was having pressure in my head, and it's nothing at all to worry about. But he's on closer examination. I've got a kinked sinus or something like that. I'm sure there's a technical term, Sanus Kinkos, and he's given me a spray, and then in a couple of months he's going to have another one. Anyway, the point of this little message today, as I am going to my recently booked nice warm hotel room in the centre of Chesterfield, because the traffic's not going anywhere, and neither am I. There's no way I can get back to the tiny house from here. Not this afternoon. It'll all have gone in the morning. But I was just musing that I can't think of anything more pleasant than, instead of getting all stressed out by frustrated plans, I'm having a lovely walk through the snowy cemetery. Oh, there are daffodils out there. And so these surprising things that sort of we can choose to take them either as a bloody nuisance, if you'll excuse the expression, or as a welcome interruption, because I'm going to have a nice quiet afternoon in a warm hotel room after a nice meal. So small blessings, well, every blessing. There is that verse in scriptures. Oh, I nearly lost it then. I need to pay attention, Phil, pay attention. What was my last video about? Pay attention. Should have brought my skis. Yes, where's the... Pay attention. That verse in scripture that says something like, "For we know that everything works together for good for those who love God and are called according to his purpose," her purpose, gender neutral purpose. And so it is. I don't want to sound too trite about this, but I could be really pissed off. But I'm not. It's turned into a bit of an unexpected, pleasurable adventure. Now, can we apply that to all the inconveniences, small or large, in our life? It's a challenge, but in as encouraging way as I can say it, it seems to me that it's a sign on the way, on the spiritual path to complete, total, utter, transcendent enlightenment, which is of course what we all want. It's here now. It seems to be all it takes is a sleight of mind, a sort of shift of perspective. I think keep going on about this, don't I? I had a very interesting little chat with the assistant audiotometrist nurse who did a sound test for my ears before I saw the consultant, and she put earphones on me and made high-pitched and low-pitched sounds, beeps on it to measure my faculty of hearing. And it was a good fun game. You have a joystick, and if you hear a noise you press it, and I scored very well until the consultant checked the results and told me I've got hearing loss commensurate with old age. I said, "Well, thanks for nothing." I said, He said, "Do you want a hearing aid?" I said, "No." I said, I'm thankful for what I've got. If you hadn't told me, I wouldn't know." And isn't that sort of the state we are all in, most or all of the time? By that I mean, we see through a mirror darkly, as St. Paul says. Let this one go through. Gosh, people still get ill and need treatment even when it snows. But with the auditory assistants playing this sort of sound game, she was measuring my response. First of all, the right ear, then the left ear, and then, surprisingly, a different headset, no ears. She didn't put it over my ears, she put it on my skull in two places and sent a sort of sound wave through my cranium. And so she recorded the results, and I said, "Now, isn't it interesting that I didn't know before you tested me and told me, I didn't know that there are sounds that I couldn't hear." So I thought I'd got perfect hearing. And I said to her, "But isn't that the way with everything, all of our senses?" I said, we all think we've got perfect vision, but there's that famous, there's that famous video where there's basketball game between two sides, and the sort of the guinea pigs on the test were told to concentrate on, you know, the blue team or the yellow team, and they did. And then at the end of the, I hope you can hear this, not that it's very interesting, but at the end of the test, they were asked, did you see the gorilla? And nobody tested had seen the gorilla, or rather, I presume a man in a gorilla's outfit, sort of lolloping across the basketball court. And so we only see what we want to see. We only hear what we can hear. I was walking by the river in Bakewell just last week, and I'd not been for some months. I had a coffee and a bacon butty, actually. See, my memory's not going. And oh dear. And I noticed there was a very large tree stump still in the ground, right by the bridge, the pedestrian Lovelock link bridge. And you know, I looked to see if it had been washed up by the recent storms, but no, it was a fully rooted tree trunk in a prominent position on a bench I'd sat on 100 times over the 6 years that I lived in Bakewell, and I'd never seen it. So my point was to this audiometric assistant nurse person that we simply live in ramp or steps. Ramp or steps, what's safest?
I don't know really, they look a bit acid and stuff.
I'm going ramp. I'm going the ramp, it seems, but make sure I'm near the handrail. And that seems to be generally our full-time human condition. We don't hear what's not there. What's there, but we don't hear. We look, but we don't see. We touch, and we don't get the full picture. We smell. I probably smell at the moment. We smell, but with only 1,000th or less of the sensitivity of a dog, and then dare say other animals. We don't even have echolocation like bats. So my point is, before we go into this underpass to my nice warm hotel room, my point is arguing your case for, in my case, consciousness or spiritual awakening, or even a place to get a good lunch, a good hot lunch now. They're all completely baseless on very limited, filtered, and probably mostly unreliable information and knowledge, which happens to be the next topic in my book. Types of knowledge, how do we know what we know? But that's for another time. I have to do this to turn it off now. Catch you later.